this is Catherine. Welcome back to Double Kidney. If you are suffering from kidney disease, there are 5 ways you can repair your kidneys and lower your creatinine that are actually supported by science. A lot of people don't think this can be done, but I'll show you proof that with the easy tips to keep the kidneys healthy of today's video, you can get great results. Okay, there are a lot of things I want to talk about today. There are a couple of home remedies for chronic kidney disease proven to work I want to tell you about. I've got them with me so I can show you how to use them. And also there are important updates about the development of a stem cell treatment for kidney disease and more. So watch this video till the end. It will be really interesting. One last thing before we start. This comment on my video of last week really made my day, so I want to read it to you because it's a message of hope. This is from a user called Wilcjosh. He says, "Don't give up, people. If there's one thing that can save us is never giving up. I'm 53 stage 4 and none of the doctors I went to ever told me this, but I wish they did. They just told me to wait for my renal function to get worse so I could get a transplant. They never cared. Then I found Double Kidney here on YouTube and I discovered there was still hope. So I started caring. I started eating better, giving up bad habits, following the advice I found here. Incredible as it sounds, my creatinine got lower instead of higher for the first time in 5 years. So never give up and never stop praying and believing, because God will help you if you fight for your health." Thank you. This was really great. It totally made my day. I always thought that the power of praying can help you. So thank you for letting us know about your experience. Because if there's one thing that I want to show you is that if you don't lose hope, there is always a way to win this battle. So here we go. These are the 5 steps you need to get results. You will lower your creatinine and start to repair your kidneys with these 5 easy steps. Step number 1, improve your renal diet. Easier said than done, right? Well, maybe we can make it easier today, because this is a very important step, something that can really help you. The renal diet doesn't have to be complicated. It has to be effective. How can you improve your renal diet effectively? First of all, focus on plant-based diet because it has some amazing benefits for kidney patients. It lowers blood sugar and blood pressure, reduces the risk of obesity, diabetes, dementia, heart disease, and even some types of cancer. It even improves kidney function. How does this work? Eating more plant-based foods such as vegetables and grains in place of animal-based foods such as red meat may help prevent and slow down the progression of chronic kidney disease because it fights type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, the causes of kidney disease. Yes, the plant-based diet really works to lower creatinine, and this has been proven. As usual, I'm posting the links to the studies proving what I'm saying in the description. How to follow a plant-based diet. Focus on plants. This includes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, seeds, and nuts. Basically, these foods should make up the majority of what you eat in a day, right? Because they're really healthy for your kidneys. Limit or avoid animal products. Exclude refined foods like added sugars, white flour, and processed oils. All these are unhealthy. Tons of studies and researches prove that eating these is bad for your heart, your body weight, your kidneys. So you can have a little slack with meat once in a while if you haven't had too much protein that day, but avoid these 3, okay? So no added sugars, white flours, and processed oils. Also, this is not the same as the vegan diet, so you don't have to renounce to meat, poultry, fish, and dairy products in general. You may want to limit them, especially meat and dairy. Fish, on the other hand, is encouraged for people with kidney disease, especially fatty fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids. The other advantage of the plant-based diet is limiting sodium. Sodium is a real danger for people with kidney disease since it raises blood pressure. Almost every patient needs to step down on sodium. Having too much sodium will ruin a kidney-friendly diet, will make you thirsty, and will also cause a spike on blood pressure, which is a sure way to cause damages to the kidneys. Unfortunately, avoiding added table salt to foods is not enough. Here, according to CDC, about 80% of sodium people get from their diets comes from packaged, canned, and pre-made foods. So, most of the sodium people consume is not coming from the salt shaker. As we can see from my slides, some of the foods you should avoid to get less sodium include fast foods, processed meats, bacon, shortenings, but also salad dressings, some canned foods, pickles, processed cheeses, and snacks. The aim here is to greatly reduce the amount of sodium you get on a daily basis. The average American consumes more than 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, mostly coming from foods like this in my slide. People with kidney disease, diabetes, or hypertension are usually recommended to get no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Some of these foods have this quantity of sodium for just one portion. So, this is maybe the most important step you can take to repair your kidneys. And here, the benefits of a low sodium diet. Looking at my slide here, you can see that there's a huge amount of benefits from limiting sodium. These are just some of the benefits proven by several studies you could get. Lower your blood pressure. Reduce your risk of a heart attack by managing high blood pressure. You relieve the pressure and potential damage to your heart. This reduces your chance of a heart attack. Lower your LDL cholesterol. Bad cholesterol is correlated to high sodium intake, so two birds with a stone, right? Prevent congestive heart failure and chance of stroke. Reduce the hardening and thickening of your arteries. These are a lot of benefits for your heart. Lessen the chance of a brain aneurysm. Protect your vision. Who knew you could really protect your vision with carrots? High blood pressure in the vessels in your eyes can lead to torn blood vessels and vision loss, so incorporate more natural, low-salt foods like carrots to avoid this risk. Lower your risk of dementia and improve your memory. Dementia is often related to slowed blood flow to the brain caused by high blood pressure. And if this wasn't enough, the low-sodium diet is also known to reduce your risk of diabetes, reduce the amount of water you need to drink, really useful for people in the advanced stages of kidney disease, reduce bloating and swelling, and most of all, it will decrease your risk of kidney damage. I am not here to demonize salt or sodium in general. In fact, sodium is essential to our bodies functioning properly, and it's one of the nutrients we need, so we don't end up with an electrolyte imbalance. The problem is that many people are consuming way too much sodium on a daily basis, filling up on unhealthy sodium-rich foods, which is why a low-sodium diet is the way to repair your kidneys. Now, all these huge benefits are not something I'm making up. These are all proven by tons of studies made on thousands of people. So, Looking at my slide here, avoiding packaged foods may be a good strategy to avoid sodium and get all these benefits, right? And I know this may seem really tough at first, but if you want to fight a disease as big as kidney disease, you may need to take the tough road sometimes. And this may be my best kidney health tip today. Try to avoid packaged foods as much as you can, okay? And if you can't do that, always check the labels of what you're buying. Checking the labels is the only way to know how much sodium there is in your food. If you buy packaged or processed foods, choose foods that are labeled sodium-free or very low sodium. Now, there is one thing I should clarify here. The renal diet should be tailor-made for every single patient by a healthcare professional. And while the things I've mentioned earlier work for everyone, there is more in a renal diet to take into account. When you have kidney disease, your kidneys cannot remove electrolytes like potassium and phosphorus properly. So you need to limit them in your diet to avoid complications and further damage to your kidneys. This makes a lot of healthy foods like, for example, bananas and spinach unhealthy for you, making it hard to follow a healthy diet. This makes it really hard for a lot of patients, especially new patients who have been diagnosed recently, to follow the right diet. For a lot of people, the biggest challenge is to understand how much of a change a diagnosis of CKD means, and that it will be impossible to keep on eating the things they used to love. Some dietitians make this look even worse, giving patients infinite lists of things they cannot eat anymore or of substitutes. Have you ever tried eating a low-fat or no-meat substitute? Did you like it? Me neither. Substitutes never help. They are never as good as the original and are going to make you miss the actual food even more. I definitely prefer to focus on yummy things we can actually eat to improve our health. This is why I've made several videos to show you what healthy foods you can actually eat. In these videos, healthy foods to repair your kidneys will be the main focus. So watch them or save the playlist for later. The link is up here. Okay, time for our next step now. Step number 2 to repair the kidneys, the life-saving tests. There are 4 life-saving tests everyone should do to avoid problems. I know that blood tests reports can be complex and difficult to decipher for the patient, especially when we start to see terms like maybe hemoglobin, blood urea, hematocrit. Which one is too high and what does it mean? And do you really need as a patient to be able to understand all the numbers and values on your test? Nope. You just need to do the 4 life-saving tests. Let's see what they are. First test, blood pressure. Why should you do this test? High blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure after diabetes. But it's not just that. High blood pressure can cause kidney damage, and kidney damage can cause high blood pressure. Yes, it's a vicious circle if left untreated. So it's very important to keep blood pressure always under control. What are the good scores for this test? Below 120/80 is best result possible. Below 130/80 means elevated blood pressure and it's usually treatable. If your results are above 139/89, it means you have high blood pressure. This will require medications and lifestyle changes that your doctor will prescribe you. It's also important to do these tests regularly, and you can even do it at home with a very simple device. Second test is protein in the urine. Why is this important? Protein in the urine is the very first symptom of kidney disease for a lot of patients. Unfortunately, not everyone gets checked for this regularly, or their doctors don't pay enough attention to a test that could save so many lives. So if you don't have kidney disease but you are at risk for it, maybe because of diabetes or high blood pressure or a family history of kidney disease, get checked and pay close attention to albumin. What are the good scores for this test? Less than 30 milligrams of albumin per gram of urinary creatinine. If you have more than this, it's a sign of kidney damage. Third test is serum creatinine or creatinine in blood. This is one of the main indicators of kidney function. Healthy kidneys filter creatinine, a waste product from muscle activity, out of the blood. When kidney function is reduced, creatinine levels rise. So, what's a good score for this test? Normal levels of creatinine in the blood are approximately 0.6 to 1.2 milligrams per deciliter in adult males and 0.5 to 1.1 milligrams per deciliter in adult females. Now, when these levels rise, it means that kidney function is decreasing. Creatinine levels can tell you how much kidney function you still have, because the higher the creatinine levels, the lower the kidney function, as we can see from this slide. The pink line here is creatinine, and these dotted lines are the stages of kidney disease. This means that just knowing your creatinine levels, you can understand in what stage you are. For example, stage 3 is with creatinine between approximately 2 and 3 milligrams per deciliter. But these values are not 100% accurate, so there is a better test to understand what your kidney function exactly is. The fourth and most important life-saving test is glomerular filtration rate, or GFR in short. GFR is the most sensitive and accurate gauge of kidney function. Doctors measure blood creatinine levels and perform a calculation based on age, race, and gender. Now, if you have GFR lower than 60 for more than 3 months, it means that you have chronic kidney disease. So, and this is another very important kidney health tip you should follow to repair your kidneys. Do these 4 life-saving tests regularly if you have kidney disease, or if you have any risk factor for it, like diabetes, high blood pressure, or a family history of kidney disease. Okay? Step number 3 to repair the kidney is don't wait to get sicker. Like the post I read you earlier was saying, a lot of patients are told to just wait for their kidneys to get worse. Well, that's a great way to kill your kidneys if I've ever seen one. So if your doctor tells you to wait to get sicker, for the first time in my life, I'm telling you not to do what your doctor told you. If you are waiting to get sicker before you get serious about fighting kidney disease, you could be in for a rude awakening. While letting the disease frighten you is bad, pretending that it's not there is even more dangerous. Ignoring the symptoms and pretending that there is a lot more time than you actually have can be a very costly mistake, because it means losing opportunities. It means losing the chance to start a better treatment while you still can. And the scariest part about this mindset is that sometimes it is even encouraged by doctors. It's not uncommon actually to be told to wait to get sicker to be put on a transplant list. But encouraging a patient to wait to get sicker before advocating for their best life can be life-threatening, especially for people with chronic kidney disease. This is what drug addicts do, but you don't have to do the same. Drug addicts always wait to hit rock bottom before starting to even try to do something to improve things. And how does this mindset work out for them? So, don't wait until you hit rock bottom of your health. Start to improve things as soon as you can, okay? And I know this may seem like a lot to do, but if you want to fight chronic kidney disease, you should take big, important steps in the direction of a better health. Step number 4 to repair the kidneys, the supplements that actually work. There are very few supplements that can actually help you in fighting kidney disease, so be very careful with what you take and be sure to inform your doctor or dietitian if you want to try anything new, because there could be risks. Still, these supplements I have with me here actually work and can help you. Here is what they are. Here, turmeric. What is turmeric and how can it help with kidney disease? Turmeric is a plant of the ginger family and curcumin is its active ingredient. Curcumin has many scientifically proven health benefits such as the potential to prevent heart disease and even Alzheimer's. It's a potent antioxidant and may also help improving symptoms of depression and arthritis. It's often used to treat heartburns and stomach aches, and I really love this peculiarity. Every time my stomach is upset, I just make myself a turmeric drink. It tastes great and solves the problem almost instantly. And while these properties are useful, what is really interesting about turmeric is its powerful anti-inflammatory ability. So, how can turmeric fight kidney disease? Chronic kidney disease like diabetes and cardiovascular disorders has an inflammatory component. A natural remedy like turmeric that can reduce the inflammation will go a great way in slowing down the progression of these diseases while soothing the symptoms. As an anti-inflammatory, turmeric protects against chronic kidney disease and progression to end-stage renal failure, according to a 2014 article published in Molecules. As usual, the links to these studies are in the description if you want to check them. What they found is that the curcumin in turmeric blunts the effects of the inflammatory molecules and enzymes that cause chronic kidney disease. Yes, curcumin actually blocks different substances that play a role in causing inflammation in the kidneys, according to recent studies. But there's more, because turmeric can also lower high blood pressure. Medline Plus reports that taking turmeric for 3 months may help reducing blood pressure in people with kidney inflammation. Another study found out that curcumin, the active ingredient of turmeric, can even stabilize and decrease blood sugar levels in people with diabetes. These can be really useful in managing the complications of diabetes, including diabetic kidney disease. And this is really great. Now, turmeric is widely used and safe. Still, it can have side effects and drug interactions, especially with blood thinners like warfarin. So, talk to your doctor if you want to start taking it, okay? Another very useful supplement for people with kidney disease: probiotics. These supplements are really powerful in terms of repairing kidney damage. Probiotic supplements, in particular, have been found beneficial in the reduction of urea in patients with non-dialysis chronic kidney disease. These are the finds of a very recent study about probiotics in kidney disease patients. A reduction of urea is an important indicator of your kidney function. The patients tested in this study on probiotics were found to have lower levels of urea, meaning that their body was able to process uremic toxins better, reducing the workload on the kidneys. What I'm saying is basically that probiotic supplements are proven by science to help you reducing the workload on your kidneys, giving them the chance to improve. This is not all. Probiotics have some more benefits for your kidneys. Probiotics help balance the friendly bacteria in your digestive system, prevent and treat diarrhea, can help keep your heart healthy, can help reduce symptoms of certain digestive disorders, help boost your immune system, help you lose weight and belly fat. Now, these benefits are especially useful for people with kidney disease or any other chronic diseases. Actually, since it's harder for them to have a perfectly balanced gut flora, because probiotics are the good bacteria present in your gut. These bacteria can get out of balance, causing a long list of health problems when factors like stress, taking antibiotics, taking medications, lack of sleep, heartburn, or constipation are present. Now, if any of these factors sound familiar, chances are that probiotics can help you improving your gut health and kidney health, because it's really hard to improve kidney function when you're not getting the right nutrients, right? And your gut cannot properly assimilate vitamins and micronutrients from foods when the gut bacteria are out of balance. Also, when you have fewer good bacteria in your gut, these will be replaced by harmful bacteria. This will greatly increase the chance of infections. Now, getting more probiotics from your diet is actually a possibility. Yes, eating more sources of probiotics can help. These include yogurt, especially plain Greek yogurt, kefir, a dairy drink, fermented vegetables such as pickles or sauerkraut, and more. The problem with these foods is that they may have too high levels of sodium in the case of sauerkraut or of phosphorus in the case of yogurt to be consumed regularly by kidney patients. This makes probiotic supplements more useful, especially for patients in the advanced stages. Probiotic supplements are what were used in the studies I've mentioned earlier, and they are supposed to give you the best results. Most of the studies showing benefits used dosages of 1 billion to 100 billion live organisms or colony-forming units, CFU in short, per day. If you shop on Amazon.com, you can find several brands sporting even 50, 60, or even 100 billion CFU per serving. So, you would have to take just one serving per day or one serving in the morning and one in the evening to get the benefits. These supplements are widely used and considered safe. Still, there could be side effects. Probiotics can trigger an allergic reaction or cause stomach problems, bloating, gas, and they can interact with medications. So, as always, talk to your doctor before starting to take any new supplement, okay? Now, one more thing before I'll show you the last step of today's video. Here, a new study in the field of stem cell therapy promises to functionally cure diabetes. This will be a really great news for people with kidney disease, since diabetes is the #1 risk factor. This study was done on mice, so it's still too early to celebrate, but it's still a great step in the right direction. A team of researchers at the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis successfully converted human stem cells into cells capable of producing insulin. These insulin-producing cells were then able to control blood sugar levels in a demonstration involving diabetic mice. This is what lead researcher Jeffrey Millman, assistant professor at Washington University, said in a statement. These mice had very severe diabetes with blood sugar readings of more than 500 milligrams per deciliter of blood, level that could be fatal for a person. And when we gave the mice the insulin-secreting cells, within 2 weeks, their blood glucose levels had returned to normal and stayed that way for many months. The bottom line is that the mice with diabetes were functionally cured in just 2 weeks and were able to live for up to 9 months, the normal lifespan of a mouse without diabetes. So let's hope they can keep testing and getting these kind of results on humans too. And there's one more thing I want to show you. There are people here who were able to reverse kidney disease. I've talked a lot about their success stories because they're inspiring and because they can show people that there could be a way out of this illness. What they use is this program here I have on my phone. This is a comprehensive guide to the diet, supplementation, and medications created to help people in stage 3, 4, and even 5 of kidney disease to get their kidney function back. It was made by an Australian doctor that helped thousands of people with kidney disease. As a bonus, you can even get a free consultation with him when you buy the program. Click here for more info if you want to know more. This is all for today. Thank you for watching.